Hey guys, my name is Marc and you're watching MDTV, and I recently got a question from Matt on YouTube asking me, so what's the difference between flexibility and mobility? So if you don't know, stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. Now, what's the difference between flexibility and mobility? Well, in terms of definition, it's quite simple. So flexibility refers to your muscle length. What's the ability of your muscle to be lengthened? And if you do that, that's flexibility. Now, if you look at mobility, mobility is referred to as how well does a joint move through the whole range of motion of a joint. So let's say your arm, if it moves up and down and front and back and it moves all freely, means you've got a good mobility. Now, let's look at things which could interfere with mobility and flexibility. Now, with mobility, there are a couple of things. It could be that you've got a tight muscle somewhere. That means you've got a knot in your muscle and it feels like you can't really move that well through the range of motion. Then you might see a physiotherapist or a massage therapist or something like that, or you do foam rolling. Then what else could interfere with mobility? It could be that you actually don't have the muscle coordination to do the movement. Let's say you do a boxing punch, and to learn that properly, that takes dedication and time. So to improve your mobility for the boxing punch means you need to do repetition over and over again, and as it gets better, your mobility will get better in the punch. And then the last thing is that you will have sort of power within every range of motion. So let's say the force you will be able to generate at a certain angle of your arm is going to be different in every position. So you can work on that. So you can say, okay, I want to have more power at the very edge of your range of motion. Then you do certain exercises to increase that. Now, flexibility, on the other hand, is, like I said, it's the muscle length. It targets your muscle length. So it's part of mobility, but it's just very specific. Now, with flexibility, we decide, or you can look at dynamic stretching or dynamic flexibility and static stretching or static flexibility. So what's the difference here? Dynamic is something you do before your training. Let's say it's also sport specific. So for example, let's say you go to the gym and you're training legs today. You do some squats, right? So what you would do is you would focus on your legs. You would do some dynamic movements, some swinging motions with your legs, not static stretching, because static stretching, on the other hand, is something you would do at the end of the training to lengthen the muscle back into the position before you start it. Because as you train, let's say you do biceps curl, as you keep doing curls, your muscle will shorten in that training session, and it takes some time and it will naturally lengthen again. But let's say over a long period of time, half a year, that muscle will become shorter. So that might be good if you want it here and you want to have like sort of this bulky sort of thing, but it is not good in terms of your whole body, because you will have always this balance if one muscle is stronger than the other. And to compensate that, that's why you do some static stretching and get these muscles back aligned. Another thing is actually that when you do stretching after training, it says, or it's proven that it decreases DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. So if you feel sore in your muscle after your workouts, if you do stretching, that helps to prevent that. Yeah, I mean, that's in short the difference between mobility and flexibility. I mean, there are loads of other things. If you start Googling flexibility and mobility, you will find loads of benefits of why you should be doing each. And I'm actually going to put some of those in the description box below for you, so you can see them for yourselves, because I think it's quite important to know. Also, the definition I gave you at the front of the video at the beginning, I'll put in the description box below. And yeah, I'm interested in actually, do you stretch after your workouts? And if so, what kind of stretching do you do? Let me know. Yeah, so if you like this video, hit the like button, and also you know, I'm gonna produce a couple more of these videos. If you've got a question, just, you know, pop them in the description or send me an email and I'll try to answer them. So I'll see you in the next video.